Good to see you, man.
It's been a long time.
Congratulations
Thank
tonight.
you, my friend. It's great
Great
to see you.
stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, what did you think of the show, Tony? Like, what's your thoughts and feelings and emotions coming out of tonight?
I've seen, like I said, going in, like I told a couple of interviewers, I've seen pretty much every wrestling pay-per-view ever. I had very high expectations that this would be amongst the best, and I feel like we've delivered. I think it's one of the best wrestling pay-per-views anybody's done, that anybody's going to see. I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, and a lot has been made about how, a lot of people say you guys shouldn't be direct competition to WWE, but you guys put on a stellar show tonight.
Just trying to do the best possible shows. Everyone's trying to do the best shows they can. I think we weren't trying to compete with anyone or be, better. We're just trying to do the best show anybody's doing. And I think we did the best pay-per-view anybody's done all year.
When did the John Moxley deal come together?
As soon as he was out of his deal and wanted to talk to people, he came to me, and I was really excited to talk to him when he was able to talk to me, and he's been great, and I'm very excited he's part of the roster. I think commercially we've done very well. We had good expectations to do the best numbers anybody's done since WCW had gone. Nobody had done, other than WWE, had done numbers like this, and I think we're in position to do the best numbers anybody's done in the business since then, and hopefully be really strong national, international wrestling.
How do you feel about the Pac scenario, the way it played out prior to the show? I mean, were you bummed that he wasn't able to be on the show?
It would have been great if Ben would have been able to be here. I'm a huge Pac fan, and we love Pac, and hopefully he'll be working a lot of shows for us in the future.
Can you talk at all about why he wasn't here?
No, it didn't work out. There were a lot of reasons why, and I think the show came together great. And I think we would have loved to have him here, and we love working with him in the future. We all love Pac, and we all respect him as one of the best performers. Super professional. I mean, yeah, I think by loving wrestling and watching a lot of wrestling, I can already see. Yeah, I think it is going to help Mark because by understanding I think I understand what a fan wants to see from top to bottom, and I feel like today I was able to go in and sit with the guys. And everyone had great opinions on what was going to make this a great show, and that's what makes this such a great collaborative process with the group we have for booking, because we communicate really well, and I think I offer a little bit different perspective, not just as a fan but as a businessman too, and it's a little bit different from what the guys' experience is, and it's great synergy, and I feel like as a group, not just the top executives, but all the whole roster and everybody together, really the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. There's real synergy of us all working together. We all bring something different.
How did the ITV4 deal come about?
It came together long before there was an AEW or a roster of wrestlers. I live in England a good chunk of the year, and I had gone to the folks at ITV Sport and said, ITV Entertainment had been running the wrestling at ITV, and they had done this World of Sport. And I know the sport people very well from English football, and that's where those connections paid off. And I told them that there's a real chance to have a wrestling product that's a huge hit and does the kind of numbers you dreamed of for wrestling on ITV, and would be a real success, and we'd have a lot of advantages working together. And I know those guys personally, and they trust me, and we had a couple meetings, and then as stuff developed, they saw everything I was saying was legit. And then as we got to go launch in January, I kind of tipped them off. Everything, it's a go. Everything I told you, it's a go. And it's been a great relationship. Those guys are awesome.
Tony, also the women's movement is one of the biggest things in pro wrestling today, and of all brands. How do you want to implement the women's division with the company?
What was great is we have really diverse amount of executives and coaches who are super knowledgeable about women's wrestling, and for me it's been really great. Dave's here, and I've honestly learned about a lot of the great female performers on this show from reading The Observer, and the person who sourced the great Joshi, the ladies from Japan, was Kenny Omega. Had actually found a lot of names, sent me a lot of videos, and Kenny and Brandy and I together had done a lot of work on that. And so yeah, there's absolutely internationally right now, it's a great time for women's wrestling, and we're going to be a huge part of it. And that's why I think the matches we presented today were on par with all the great matches on the show, and that's no surprise to me. I think we expected that going in. We had really top people, and Kenny was proud of that. He was proud of his match, but he was also proud that the ladies he'd found for us that delivered and had a great match.
Will it be part of the future AEW marketing, looking for the direct confrontation with WWE, or is it just a Cody thing?
No, I mean, everyone. What's funny is I've seen people say that there's not a party line, they need to have a company line. No, we don't. Everybody's trying to get something different out of it. We all just want to do the best shows. If any of us, if it fuels our fire, the competition, that's great. For me, I'm just trying to do the best shows possible. I'm not really thinking about their shows, and I hope their shows are great, because at the best times of wrestling, honestly, everybody was doing great stuff, because there was a time 20 years ago where all the shows were great. and maybe 21 years ago, more so than 20 years ago. 98 was a really good year. Yeah, I think we can get there again, and I just want all wrestle. I'm so excited when we get to weekly. Like, we've done a show that now we can hang our hat on, that we've done one of the great wrestling pay-per-views. But I'm really excited when we get to weekly. It's just going to be a better quality of life. Like, it's going to be like the work is going to be better than it's ever been. But it's going to be like 20 years ago, where like you can go. Your week, you're going to be able to watch a lot of wrestling, and it's not going to be a chore either. Like, it's going to be fun. And so I'm excited. Well, sorry.
No, you're good.
You good?
Hangman Jericho headlining All Out for the title. Is that?
Hangman Jericho. I believe it's a TBD. Has anybody officially announced a date for Hangman Jericho? I don't believe anybody's announced a date for Hangman Jericho yet. So I think you're putting words in my mouth. No, we're gonna make an announcement. But Hangman Jericho is going to be for the AEW World Championship, and Hangman and Chris are going to have an awesome match, and we're all really excited about it, and we'll announce the time and date soon.
We saw weights last night. I mean, going forward, like with weights, will weights be correlated to belts at all?
No, because I'm not planning on like weight divisions. I'm just like, we're doing like, it's like shoot sports stuff, and like we're trying to, the weigh-ins is a neat thing about sports, and we'll see a lot of elements like that. You'll see more tales of the tape, and as we build up more, as guys have win-loss records, and we build up stats of what has and hasn't worked in the matches, you're going to see a lot more of that as we get into our weekly TV presentation, and it'll be different than what you've seen in a lot of sports, and I hope it'll be like what you've seen in combat sports that people like is the best of combat sports. I know, Austin, you're really into combat sports.
A little bit.
So yeah, and obviously, so you're the perfect person to talk to about that, and I know a lot of you guys are really into combat sports. So I think that resonates with viewers, and that's something people like to see. And you want to see, like, the best wrestlers who've had the best record fighting the champion, and that's what's you're going to see. So, but weight classes, it's not really. I think we're kind of past the point of weight classes, because to me, like, a lot of the best quote unquote heavyweights would be the junior heavyweights. And then what are you saying about the junior heavyweight belt when the best junior heavyweights or cruiserweights or whatever you want to call aren't competing for that? So I just think we're going to have a world championship, and that's going to be the world championship. We're not calling it the world. So with weights, it's really just a legitimate fact about sports. And, there's going to be David Goliath matches. Sometimes there'll be a big disparity, and it'll be an interesting fact.
Tony, this has been a journey for you, no
Sure.
doubt about it. How do you feel today? Like, are you going to be able to take the time out to kind of sit
I'm
back
not
and enjoy
surprised. I'm glad everything came off, but I've been through a lot of stuff. Like, there's a difference between knowing that you have like the group of professional performers like teed up, and not just the wrestlers, but also the production and all the coordinators and all the people who work backstage, and just like everybody from top to bottom that made this happen. I know I'd really trust everybody, and you're not working against the kind of common enemy. Like, and Austin can tell you, like, there's a big difference between doing this and like being at Foxborough playing Tom Brady. Like, because you can't control that, and we had a lot of things here we can control. So it's very different. Like, it's nerves, but it's a totally different kind of nerves from other situations, if that makes sense.
I know you have.
5, 6, 8, 12.
The definition of what a pay-per-view is changing, Dave. I think like right now, I think the kind of shows we're doing, I expect to this is going to probably be an event like this would be a quarterly kind of event. But we'll be doing more. We certainly won't just be doing quarterly shows, but this is the biggest kind of show you can do, and I think we'll be doing a lot of big shows. But I expect these 4-hour shows with a 1-hour pre-show is probably going to be a quarterly thing. And most of our shows probably wouldn't be 4 hours of the pre-show.
But like, say, like the next couple shows, will they be shows that you would stream but not necessarily?
There's with our media partners are very excited about how some of this came off. I don't want to commit to anything yet, but we'll see. I've had a very good night. So but yeah, I think we'll see where we end up. That content goes, but I think Fighter tickets will be on sale Wednesday officially, and then with All Out tickets are on sale June 14th, I believe. So May 29th for Fighter, June 29th for All Out. And does anybody else have? I can do 1 or 2 more. If anybody's
I was just going to
get a couple more. Go ahead.
Okay, my question was about something David actually said, that was CM Punk was like the original person you wanted as part of AEW. And what I'm wondering is that true? And
no, there's no like one to say like what's a one-person wrestling company? There's no such thing. Like,
right.
He was on the first roster when I like sketched out a list of like, hey, like I want to start a wrestling company. Who are all the names you're gonna get? everybody we got is on that list, and he was also on that list, to be honest with you. But a lot of people were on that list, and most of them are here, to be honest with you. I got almost every person I wanted on the show.
But that's
So-
the thing is he's not here. Are you
I don't
talking
know.
to Punk?
I
or what
love
is
Phil.
going on?
Phil's great. I mean, I have a good relationship with Phil. I think he's awesome, and he was not here as you saw. So I don't want to make that. I don't think that's not the story of the show. It'd be a real insult to like what we've all done to make that the story of the show. But
Can you imagine running Vegas again next year?
So yeah, I do imagine running Vegas again soon. It was great, and we'll definitely be running Vegas at least every year, if not more often than every year.
You've said something on an interview on ITV about running a pay-per-view, and people talk about it. Pay-per-view in the UK. I mean,
Yeah, I expect to. The announcement on that is not imminent, but I expect we will be doing that. We've got great support in the UK, and we put a lot of effort into branding in the UK and done a lot of things. I'm really appreciative. My really good friend Jack Whitehall has done a lot of help for us there. That's been really good, and the sport we've had from ITV has been amazing. So I do expect we will do a pay-per-view in the UK. I haven't booked the date for it. I haven't booked the arena for it, but I think we'll do it. Yeah.
who's responsible for the video packages?
Keith's got a great team of guys. Raph, Kevin Sullivan, right? That is right. Kevin Sullivan is the guy. Sully is the guy who was doing stuff, and we were talking to. That is right. He's awesome. Yeah, he did a great job.
Any comment on the exclusivity of the length of Moxley?
So he is a multi-year contract, and he will be on a full-time deal. When we go weekly, he's gonna be working full-time. But same as with some of the other guys, especially when the schedule's light, I'm gonna be open about him working some international and indie dates. But he is full-time with us, and domestically, he's essentially our guy. But yeah, he's gonna do some international and indie stuff. But he's definitely an AEW full-time wrestler.
Are you going to handle your life with running a weekly TV show in the US and running a football team weekly with weekly games in the UK?
I have already been putting a lot of miles on, and I was at almost all of my games this past year in the UK down the stretch. And if you look back, I think I was at 11 out of the last 12 games, and the only one I missed was during the NFL draft, and I still follow the game super closely. And we played very well and actually won that game. And Cardiff, came down with us, and they're shade and fruit. They shared our misery. Yeah, it's going to be really hard, but it's not like I haven't been doing it for a while now.